The lecture hall of the Galactic Naval Academy buzzed with the quiet murmur of 200 cadets from across known space. Zephyrian crystal beings chimed softly to each other, their translucent bodies refracting the ambient light into prismatic displays. Forthan warriors sat rigid, their forearms crossed in disciplined attention, while Aquian delegates floated in their mobile water tanks, tentacles swaying hypnotically, and tucked in the back corner, almost forgotten, sat the lone human representative. Cadet Marcus Chen had grown accustomed to being overlooked during his 3 years at the Academy. Humans were the newest addition to the Galactic Confederation, barely having achieved faster-than-light travel 50 years ago. Most species considered them curious primitives, aggressive certainly, but lacking the refined evolutionary advantages that marked true apex predators. Professor Veltar, a towering Zephyrian whose crystalline form sparkled with authority, activated the holographic display. The Academy's most prestigious xenobiology course was legendary throughout the galaxy, and today's topic had drawn standing-room-only crowds. Today we examine the apex species of our galaxy, Veltar announced, their voice resonating through harmonic frequencies. Those beings who have transcended mere survival to dominate their environments through superior adaptation. The first slide materialized, a magnificent image of a Krillian hunter in its natural habitat. 8 feet of perfectly sculpted death, with retractable claws that could slice through starship hull plating and sensory organs, capable of detecting a heartbeat from 3 miles away. The Krillians of Vega Prime, Veltar continued, evolved over 4 million years of constant warfare. Their homeworld's gravity is triple that of most inhabited planets. Their reaction time is measured in microseconds. Observe their triple redundant organ systems, virtually impossible to kill through conventional means. Murmurs of appreciation rippled through the audience. Several Vorthon cadets nodded approvingly, recognizing worthy adversaries. The second slide featured the Nether of the Dark Nebulae, entities of pure energy who could phase through matter at will, manipulating electromagnetic fields with thought alone. They had conquered 17 star systems without ever taking physical form. Third came the Titan worms of Xerion, creatures the size of city blocks with hide thick enough to withstand direct nuclear strikes and acidic blood that could dissolve mountains. Their species had never known defeat in 12,000 years of recorded history. Fourth, the hive mind collective of Antares, beings who shared a single consciousness across billions of bodies, making them effectively immortal and capable of perfect tactical coordination. And finally, Veltar announced as the 5th slide appeared, the crystal entities of Rigel, beings of pure silicon who reproduce by converting matter at the molecular level, essentially immortal and capable of surviving in the vacuum of space. Marcus shifted in his seat, frowning at the display. Around him, cadets from various species whispered among themselves, debating the merits of each apex predator. Some argued for different rankings, others questioned whether the list was comprehensive. But Marcus raised his hand. The gesture was so unexpected that the hall fell silent. Professor Veltar's crystalline features shifted into what might have been surprise. Yes, Cadet Chen. Marcus stood slowly, feeling the weight of 200 pairs of eyes and their equivalents upon him. Professor, with all due respect, your slide is incorrect. The silence deepened. A few Vorthon cadets made aggressive posturing gestures, interpreting the human's words as challenge. The Aquian's tentacles curled tighter in their tanks. Please elaborate, Veltar said carefully. You listed the top 5 apex species, Marcus continued, his voice steady. But there's only one. Confused chittering erupted from the Zephyrians. A Vorthon cadet half rose from his seat. Primitive human, you dare suggest your soft-flesh species belongs among not humans? Marcus interrupted quietly. Though we're getting there. He walked to the front of the class, every step echoing in the vast chamber. Professor, may I use the display? Veltar gestured consent, curiosity overriding protocol. Marcus activated the holographic controls with practiced ease. Every species you've shown has one thing in common. They're perfect. Evolved over millions of years to be the ultimate expression of their evolutionary niche. The Krillians are perfect hunters. The Nether are perfect energy beings. The Titans are perfect siege engines. A new image appeared, Earth, blue and green and utterly ordinary. But there's one species that's conquered more worlds than all of these combined. One species that's proven adaptable enough to survive in every conceivable environment. One species that doesn't rely on perfect evolution, because it never stopped evolving. The image shifted to show bacterial colonies, multiplying at impossible rates. Bacteria, Marcus announced. Single-celled organisms that have survived every mass extinction event, adapted to every environment from deep ocean volcanic vents to Arctic ice to the vacuum of space. They've been to every world we've visited and they've thrived. They reproduce faster than we can count, mutate constantly, share genetic information freely, and have literally shaped the atmosphere of every inhabited planet. The hall was dead silent now. Your Krillian hunters? Beautiful, perfect, and completely dependent on a very specific environmental niche. Change their gravity, their atmosphere, their prey base, they die. Bacteria, they adapt. They improvise. They overcome. Marcus looked around the room, meeting as many eyes as he could. The collective of Antares shares one mind, elegant but vulnerable. Destroy the central processing nodes and billions die. Bacteria, every single cell is independent. Kill 90% of them, and the survivors will have evolved immunity to whatever killed the others within hours. A Zephyrian cadet began chiming. A sound that Marcus had learned indicated deep thought. The crystal entities convert matter at the molecular level. Impressive. But bacteria have been doing that for 4 billion years. They eat radiation, sulfur, methane, anything. They turn sunlight into sugar, nitrogen into ammonia, carbon dioxide into oxygen. Marcus gestured to the display, where microscopic images of various bacterial forms cycled through, some with flagella for movement, others with protective spores, some capable of photosynthesis, others thriving in conditions that would instantly kill any multicellular organism. They've conquered every ecosystem, survived every catastrophe, and they're still evolving. Right now in this room, trillions of them are living on every surface, in every body, adapting to the unique environment we've created simply by gathering here. The silence stretched until Professor Veltar spoke, their harmonic voice subdued. And what does this have to do with humans, Cadet Chen? Marcus smiled, the first genuine expression he'd shown since beginning his presentation. Humans are the only multicellular species that's learned to think like bacteria, Professor. We're not perfectly adapted to any environment, so we adapt our environments to us. We don't have the strongest claws or the thickest hide, so we make tools. We're not the fastest or the toughest, so we work together and we never ever stop learning. He gestured around the room. Every species here evolved to be the perfect expression of their world. But humans? We evolved to be imperfect, curious, adaptable. We're the only species that looks at a hostile environment and asks, how can I live here? Instead of, how can I avoid this? Marcus returned to his seat, leaving the bacterial images still rotating on the display. So yes, Professor, there is only one apex species. And someday, if we keep learning, keep adapting, keep refusing to accept limitations, he shrugged, maybe there'll be two. The lecture hall remained silent for a long moment. Then slowly, Professor Veltar began to chime. A sound Marcus had never heard before, complex and beautiful and somehow approving. Class dismissed, Veltar announced. Your assignment: write a comparative analysis of adaptability versus specialization in apex species evolution. Due next cycle. As the various species filed out, many paused to look at the human cadet with new eyes. The Vorthan who had challenged him earlier stopped at Marcus's seat. Your bacteria, the warrior said quietly. They are impressive, but they are not warriors. Marcus looked up at the four-armed giant and smiled. Give them time.